begins college football Saturday night, presented by the United States Postal Service. Tonight, the Arkansas Razorbacks take on the number 10th ranked Volunteers of Tennessee. Part of the capacity house here at Neyland Stadium, and we are told that there will be upwards of 107,000 by the time we get the official attendance at the beginning of the second half. Hi, everybody. Ron Franklin along with Mike Gottfried, and welcome. A situation where both of these teams lost their opening conference game. So, Mike Gottfried, all I can say is this is more like an elimination game than it is anything else.
It really is, Ron. And when you look at Tennessee, they got to find a way to run the football. 85th in the nation rushing the ball. And then Arkansas, 7 days ago when we saw them, they got to find a better offense. Now, both these teams need a good start. Last week, Alabama hit Arkansas in the mouth on the first play with a touchdown run. Arkansas really had trouble responding. Rutgers against Tennessee in the opening kickoff took it all the way back. So both these teams are looking for something positive in the first quarter.
Philip Fulmer, 10th season. You see that percentage. That is excellent, obviously. 82.4. Won the national championship in 1998. And across the way, Coach Nutt, his 5th season as the head man at Arkansas. And you see his number, 62.7% career, 68 wins, 41 losses. The two teams come out on the field for the opening kickoff, and this crowd is really up and cranked for this one tonight. David Carlton prepares to kick it off. Corey Larkins back in a deep single safety. Here's the kick, and this is very long, but it's off to the left side and will go out of the end zone, and they will scrimmage from the 20-yard line. Casey Clausen gets the start. His hometown, Northridge, California, 6'4", 215 pounds. He is a junior.
Very high percentage thrower.
Well, let's see how the Volunteers come out. Mike, if they start the ball game trying to work on their running game, because quite frankly in their first 2 games they worked more on the pass than they did on the run. But they're going to throw on first down. They get it out of the backfield, 25, and out to the 28-yard line. It's Troy Fleming, who lines up at tailback and also at the fullback. So the offensive starters, Davis, Troy Fleming, Leonard Scott, and Kelly Washington. Keep an eye on number 15, Jason Witten, an outstanding blocking and also catching tight end. As far as the offensive front, Herrera gets a start. He was suspended last week. Oppenhusel at right tackle, Munoz at left tackle. They grade out the most consistently of that 5. Second down and 1. They fake the end around. They go straight ahead with a handoff to Jabari Davis, and he'll have the first down as we take a look at the defensive starters for the Razorbacks. Bua on the stop. Walls, Brooks, House, and Harris. Jermaine Brooks probably the leader of that group up there. He's a senior out of Pasadena, California. Very active linebackers. Bua just made the tackle. We'll call his name all night long. 22 seems to be everywhere. In the secondary, the backman, Ahmad Carroll, and he's going to have his hands full if he goes up against Washington man on man. And they're going to go on top looking for Baker. Down the far sideline, and it's caught by the inside receiver. That's Kelly Washington. And a flag has been thrown at the 15. Washington's catch good for 45 yards.
Well thrown ball by Casey Clausen, and that's again where Kelly Washington uses his body so well at 6'4".
Pass interference against the defense. It's declined. First down.
You know, Mike, it was hard to tell exactly who he was throwing to. They both were so close together.
Kelly Washington uses his body, just screens off Ahmad Carroll enough. Watch him pull up here a little bit. Use his body and make that catch. Big play by Tennessee.
Peyton comes into the ball game at wide receiver. He is a freshman, number 17. Kelly Washington now with 2 catches for 54 yards on the night. 2 tight ends in the ball game, Witten and McClure. On the 12, they go with the run, and Greer straight ahead inside the 10. Alrighty, Reese, our situation, no score, but Tennessee threatening on a second down, and they need about 7 to 8 yards for the first. Play action, looking for Washington in the end zone, and he got held up. That was a good job defensively as he got banged by Batman. Ahmad Carroll was right there to hit him at the line of scrimmage, play a little bump, and then he couldn't run.
Yeah, bump and run. And Ahmad Carroll said this week when we talked to him on the phone, Kelly Washington does a lot of talking. He said he won't be talking after the first quarter, but all of a sudden Kelly Washington's off to a great start. Ahmad Carroll, pretty good position on that last play.
Well, the interesting thing about those two matching up is they both love to gab, both Washington and also Ahmad. And when we talked with Ahmad this week, he said, "Will you talk?" And he said, "Of course I'll talk." And he'll talk right back to me. He always does. Third down. They need to take it to the 2-yard line to pick up the first. And it'll be a reverse. Scott reverses it, gets a block from his quarterback. He's at the 5, and that'll be it. Ahmad Carroll makes the tackle along with Gallion, and yes, that was number 7, Casey Clausen, out front trying to block for his wide receiver.
We're on the first drive, 11 plays, and they came up with nothing. And this time, again, a nice drive. Arkansas tightening up when they get inside the 20-yard line.
Mike, people need to understand, those who follow Tennessee football on a fairly regular basis. Alex Walls, normally the place kicker, but there is a growing problem with him. Philip Newman, who transferred here from Georgia Tech, will attempt a 22-yard field goal. They're very fortunate to have a man of this quality as a backup. Ball is down. Kick is perfect. And Tennessee goes on the scoreboard at the 6:11 mark. So we'll take a timeout. Volunteers 3 and the Razorbacks nothing. Here comes Newman's kick. High into Moran, and it's 3 yards deep. We'll see if he returns it. Yep, going to bring it up. It's Birmingham. Not going to make the 15-yard line. Excellent coverage by the Tennessee special teams. So we look at Matt Jones, the sophomore out of Fort Smith North Side. 6'5", 225 pounds, and he's going to go play action on first down. This is Jones. He'll keep it. 15 at the 20, gets outside, and then steps out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Let's take a look at the starters on offense. The running backs and wide receivers, Cobbs and Pierce. Wilson and Smith, the 2 wide receivers. Peters, very large, more of a blocker than he is a pass receiver. And up front of the offensive line, Dowdy, well, some question marks about his job last week. Andrews grades out the highest on that offensive line. A youngster out of Camden, Arkansas. That was Birmingham in motion. They go straight ahead with Mark Pierce, though, the sophomore out of Weatherford, Texas. Plays fullback, but also lines of a tailback. In fact, had 3 touchdowns in that multiple overtime game against Ole Miss last year.
Talked about Arkansas last week. They never really challenged Alabama down the playing field in the passing game. So they've had bad field position here early in this game tonight, so they haven't been able to try Tennessee down the field.
They go with the option play, and the big fella's going to have the first down. He just drags people with him, and again, I make the point, it looks like he's not moving that fast, but he is extremely hard to bring down.
Yeah, Keon Whiteside eventually brought him down, but he picked up a couple extra yards.
Mike, explain for the people at home, as we look at the replay, why this gives the defense so much more to worry about, because they're running option this week and the passing game.
The option is very difficult because it stops you from covering a lot of man coverages in the secondary, because you don't want your corners and safety running with their back to the football.
Jones puts it in the stomach of Cobbs, runs straight ahead inside the 40, still fighting, and takes it down to the 35. Up front, Amari Hand, Veal, Dickerson. Veal playing on an injured leg. Hand is probably the best up there. The linebackers extremely active. Got to keep them healthy, though. Whiteside just made the stop. In the secondary, the best cover of the group is Jabari Greer. Woody Miles very fine on the other side as well. Second and 18. Faked it to Cobbs and is not going to fool the defense of the Tennessee Volunteers. It's the second time that they've gotten to him. Harrelson is the man who makes the tackle.
Yeah, Harrelson stays at home, and John Chavis, I'm sure, said on that last play that Jones carried, make sure you stay at home. Here he stays right at home and makes the hit on Matt Jones. Well, this series is backing up for Arkansas. You got to be able to get in field goal range here with a pass.
11th play of the drive. They got to go all the way to the 18-yard line. And this is DeCorey Birmingham, and he'll take it inside the 35 down to around the 33. Now the question is, are they out of field goal range?
Pretty good series for Arkansas. Came up a little dry on after the penalty because they don't have the kind of offense that could overcome that big a penalty.
Well, they are going to try a 50-yard attempt. O'Donohue to try it. His longest is 45 against Ole Miss last year. Good pass. See if he's got the distance. Wide right. Looked as though he had the distance, but just off to the right. So that stops the clock with 20 seconds remaining in this opening quarter.
Penalty, the big play. Here's the field goal. Case of the Sharks.
You know, don't want to harp on the situation as far as the guys. Anybody can miss a call, but that penalty cost Arkansas 35 yards. They would have had a 1st and goal at the 10 or a 1st and 10 just outside the 10-yard line. That could turn out huge, obviously, in a game that I think is going to be very closely contested tonight, Mike.
I agree.
Clausen, quick set, throws the ball. Oh my goodness, what a hit. Derek Tinsley, as soon as he caught the ball, Jimmy Beasley was right there. And if that play doesn't fire up the Arkansas defense, I don't know what will.
This is again the set that they used in the second half of the Rutgers game, and they thrown the bubble screen, very successful against Rutgers. But Beasley said, hey, you're not going to throw it against me.
So that is the end of the opening quarter. That is a change into the field. Volunteers 3 and the Razorbacks nothing. Back, we start the second quarter, 3-0, Tennessee on top. Mike, some interesting numbers. Tennessee rushing 9 attempts, 28 yards. Arkansas 12 for 58 in that first quarter. Tinsley in the backfield at tailback. Not only runs well, catches the ball extremely well. Sophomore out of Marietta. They give it to him on the draw. And he's going to take it across the 30 to around the 33 before Dixon makes the tackle on him.
Tennessee still waiting for somebody to take over Houston's starting tailback job. Jabari Davis, when we talked to Philip Fulmer, he said he's a tough inside runner. Derek Tinsley's more of a pass receiver. And we thought we'd see Gerald Riggs, and we'll probably see him down the way here. But Philip Fulmer's excited about the young freshman.
Scott Wells comes out over the football. It is 3rd down and 10. Volunteers need to take it all the way to the 43-yard line. Arkansas backs off. You can see on the corners. Clausen steps up, now going to scramble, dumps it off, and has it complete at the 40 to the 45, and it's Tinsley. And on an ad-lib play, the ball did not even spiral. He tossed it forward, end over end, and it's good for 14 yards before Turner made the tackle.
Kelly Washington, the outside wide receiver, they're going to make sure he doesn't have a day like he had against Rutgers. You're going to watch him double him right here. Lawrence Richardson, then all of a sudden the safety over the top, making sure he doesn't get the football.
Comes out with 2 tight ends in the ball game. Witten, a very good pass receiver, 265 pounds. That is Witten in motion. They use him as a blocker on this play, though, as he goes straight ahead with number 27, Troy Fleming. And he will go across midfield, or in fact, they'll say he was tackled at the 50. And Doc, let's go down to the sideline. What do you got for us?
This past Wednesday in Arkansas, the Arkansas team called a players-only meeting after practice, and the big concern was their intensity, or lack of intensity and lack of focus in the game last Saturday against Alabama. Jermaine Brooks was one of the players involved. Raymond House, the other player. They talked about the fact that upperclassmen were not doing their job. No focus, no intensity. They were embarrassed, and it wasn't going to happen again tonight here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Ron?
Well, Coach Nutt yesterday had his team out. It was sprinkling here as they had their walkthrough. On under 13 minutes left until halftime. Clausen looking deep over the middle. Got his man Witten, the tight end. Breaks up the tackle. 20, 15. It'll be 1st and goal, Tennessee at the 7-yard line. 48 yards.
When you catch a team in too deep coverage, you try to get the tight end down the middle too deep, and they get James Witten against Jimmy Beasley.
Mike, I had just talked about it. You saw Beasley just bounce off of him. This kid weighs 265 pounds, and you got to knock his legs out from under him like Ken Hamlin did right there. First and goal, 7.5 yards away. Clausen now 7 of 9, 125. Davis inside the 5, and he'll be ridden down at the 3. Tackled by Caleb Miller, the middle linebacker. Good block by Victor McClure.
You talked about Houston Nutt saying he needs good things to happen. Tennessee, we talked about it from the open, that both these teams are searching for an identity, so they need something positive. Here, your Arkansas defense, you got to bow your back here now, not let them in that checkerboard end zone.
Second down. Tinsley in motion. They go back to Davis. Hurdles. Touchdown, Tennessee. Troy Fleming with an outstanding block. Newman will attempt the extra point. Obviously, Phil Fulmer, after seeing that drive, breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief, hoping this ball club can go up 10-0. High pass, but they get it down and a nice kick. Timeout on the field. 11 minutes, 41 seconds left until halftime, and as we go to commercial, let's take one more look at Jabari Davis, 6 feet 232 pounds, and the sophomore from Stone Mountain, Georgia, would not be stopped. And look at the block by 27 Fleming. We'll be right back. 10-0. Tennessee jumps on top. 11:41 left until halftime, and the scoring drive, 7 plays, 67 yards, 3 minutes and 39 seconds. Clausen was perfect, 3 of 3, 58 yards. Philip Newman will kick it off. Birmingham and Dietrich Poole, the deep man. And this kick is going to go out of the back of the end zone. Jones on the scramble, has close to 10 yards on the play, and in fact he will. So it's first down Arkansas. They trail 10-0. We've just gone under 10 minutes left until halftime. Play action, looking long, got a man right over the middle. It's Wilson inside the 35 and into Tennessee territory. They're marking down at the 32-yard line. It's good for 27 yards. Baker and Battle combining on the stop.
And George says, not going to get me on pushing off on this one. You talked about him being from Paducah, Kentucky, a football, baseball, basketball, track star in high school.
Mike, that's my fault. It was single 8, Richard Smith rather than double 8. So I apologize.
He leads the team with 8 catches, so he adds another one to his leading reception.
2 tight ends for Arkansas on this alignment. Nothing doing. Cobbs hit by Whiteside, and Kenyon Whiteside, the senior from Forest City, North Carolina, stepped up there.
Well, Cobbs is going to go back to the backfield, and he's going to say, hey, nobody's blocking the linebacker. He just got a straight-on tackle on me. Kenyon Whiteside just steps up there and uses 6'2", 235-pound frame and brings down the running back. He's going to say, hey, somebody at least get a helmet on him.
That's right. They had 2 wides. He was the lone setback and 2 tight ends. Cobbs now 9 attempts, 40 yards. Pearson motion, play action, and drills this one, and in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Smith.
Jabari Greer, the corner on the left side, number 33, gives a good cushion to Richard Smith. Looks like they get tangled up a little bit. Quite a bit. Richard Smith can't get off the play to make the catch.
Well, as we said in the lineups, Jabari Greer thought to be by his coaches the best cover guy Third down.
Maybe a good quarterback draw play.
Need to take it to the 22-yard line. Here comes the blitz, and they throw the middle screen. This is Wilson. And Baker, one of the first men along with Battle to make the hit on him.
Good play call against the blitz, because now you're set up perfect for the field goal attempt. Good job by Matt Jones dragging it out, hitting George Wilson. Got some good blocks downfield, but Tennessee played it well to stop it from being a first down.
O'Donohue to attempt this one. His longest, as we told you, 45 yards, and this would equal his longest. His last attempt was from 50. See if he's got enough leg on this one. Yes, sir. So he equals his best ever. And so we are at halftime. So as they head to the locker room, it's Tennessee 10, Arkansas 3. Now here's Reese Davis with the Saturn halftime report. Talk about the first 30 minutes and what you saw. Arkansas, I still feel as though, is in this football game. Just got to do just a couple of little things.
I agree. I think they frustrated Tennessee toward the end of the second quarter. Tennessee's not being able to run the football again. And Kelly Washington, they've been able to take him out of the ball game a little bit in the second quarter. They've doubled him, and this says it all right here. Kelly Washington right down here is the wide receiver, and all of a sudden they're going to blitz from the outside. So Kelly Washington's got one-on-one coverage, and Casey Clausen, they just don't get in sync, because Casey Clausen wanted him to turn upfield. He was too slow to do that, and so frustration.
So you see the two sitting on the far sideline as Arkansas will get the ball first. They won the toss to start the ball game tonight and deferred. Philip Newman to kick it off. DeCorey Birmingham, one of the two deep men, along with Batman. Ahmad Carroll. Good high in kick. Going to be returned from the 1-yard line at Birmingham. And I mean, again, Tennessee with excellent special teams coverage. And Dr. Jerry Punch, what were your observations from halftime?
Well, Ron, if I had known better, I was in the Arkansas Razorback locker room, I would have thought they were the team that was ahead. An air of optimism, a lot of emotion, a lot of confidence. Houston Nutt believes he made some adjustments that he can get the offense rolling in the second half, maybe with the passing game and Matt Jones. And as far as the defense is concerned, number 22, the Butkus Award candidate, Tony Bua, rallying the defense, talking about 2 tough plays. They give up points. Otherwise, they stopped it.
Okay, Doc. Tennessee missing the field goal right before halftime, 7-point ball game. So the Razorbacks got to get some field position and have something good happen. As on the option play this time, it'll go for 4 yards. And Mike, talk about the first half stats and what you see.
I think again here 47 yards rushing for Tennessee. That's big. But Arkansas here 0 for 4 on third downs. They can't sustain a drive. They need to take this football the length of the field and help their defense out. Right.
And one of the things that makes that 0 for 4 misleading, Mike, is poor field position and penalties. But 3 times they started inside their own 20. Here's Cobbs. Has 5, has 10, counted up. Wow, out across the 35, and that's going to be a gain of 15 yards on the play.
Arkansas has had good mix in their play calling. Penalties have hurt them in the first half. Here Matt Jones, because he's a threat to go to the opposite side. Cedric Cobbs gets a pretty good hole to run through.
Cedric actually got tripped up by his own man who was trying to block for him and tripped over his feet. But it moves the chains and better field position for the Razorbacks. 59 yards now and 11 attempts by Cobbs. Here's number 12, and the one doesn't carry is not good for him. Omari Hand, the senior out of Tallahassee, making the tackle, and game tracks in this ball game. Tennessee, 2 big plays.
Now Kelly Washington here making the catch.
And here's Witten, the tight end. This led to the touchdown. 265 pounds, and boy, he can ramble. And Arkansas's defense responds. Jones Puts it in the stomach of Cobbs again. Has 5, has 10. He's across midfield. And Cobbs will have about 13 yards on the running play. Whiteside making the tackle.
Again, the draw play, because Matt Jones is such a good runner to this side. You've got to stay at home. And you see Tennessee's frozen with this play. Now this would be a good time to throw the football here, Ron. 1st and 10. You're running the ball real well. Now's a good time to take and chunk a play action pass.
Well, the draw play to Dietrich Poole. He throws the ball and he throws it back to Jones, the quarterback. And he's going to be out of bounds at the 24-yard line. He not only threw it, but a little trickery also.
That's exactly what Arkansas was going to try to do, but Tennessee forces the play quickly. So Matt Jones gets the pass from Poole and then makes a couple defenders miss, picks up another 5-6 yards.
Dietrich Poole is another youngster that the Arkansas staff really likes. He is out of Central High School of Little Rock. 5'10", 189, a freshman. Holmes, he gets the ball as they run it back into the short side of the field. Muscles his way to the 21, and Clausen was shaken up in that last play as the running play. Little counter goes inside with Fred Talley, and he takes it to the 19 before Eddie Moore makes the tackle.
When you're on the road the weekend before, first interception, and Casey Clausen 112 attempts, but when you're on the road like Oklahoma is, Texas, at least a crowd gets behind you when you're sleepwalking, but Oklahoma's fighting Missouri in the crowd.
First time that Arkansas has been in the red zone of Tennessee tonight. Play action. Jones going to have to hurry. And now just throws it away. Whiteside putting on all kinds of pressure. 99.9% of the times when you see a play get strung out that far, it is just not going to work. Throw it away.
Yeah, but Matt Jones last week against Alabama tried to make a play. Had a big interception by Pope, the linebacker. At least he learned from that game and threw the ball away.
So the field goal attempt up 35 yards of Donahue. Plenty of distance on this one, and he's wide right. No good. Well, a little bit of everything. Trickeration, running the ball straight ahead, and can't hit a field goal, just like Tennessee could not right at the end of the first half.
Just wide right. But Arkansas, if they hang in here with this football team, they've got a chance to win this game. And I'm sure that's what Houston Nutt and the coaching staff is trying to do on the sideline, just saying, hey, we're our own worst enemy in this football game.
You're right. Both teams have been their own worst enemy, truthfully. Clausen, obviously okay. He's back on the field at the 20.
Might get a sweep here, Ron. Might get a sweep this way.
Yep, they pitch it back. 25, 26, 27. Jabari Davis on the carry, and back to Dr. Punch on the sideline. Jerry.
Well, guys, unfortunately, the news is not very good from the Razorback bench, and we saw Cedric Cobbs being taped a little bit ago, and Dean Weber tells me now that the sprain of the left foot and the turf toe may be too tough for Cobbs to come back at all. He may be able to make it back. We said I severely doubted Cobbs is probably done for the night.
I know, Mike, turf toe is as painful as anything you can have. Under 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Brown in motion, and they give it to Davis again. Straight ahead, 22 to the 32-yard line. Tony Bua with still another tackle.
I know your 50s music nut. I believe it was a song by the Coasters, Searching.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Tennessee's doing right now. They're searching for a formation. They're searching for a play to go to, and they're just showing a lot of formations to Arkansas, but yet haven't been able to hang their hat on one.
Well, and that is the end of the third quarter, and we will sing our way to the final 15 minutes, searching, looking every which way. So the score by quarters: 3 by Tennessee in the first, 3 by Arkansas in the second, and then the touchdown by Tennessee And it's 10-3, and that's how we have stood. Arkansas with a very good drive to open the second half, and could not punch it in and come away with any points. As you look at Matt Jones relaxing to the sideline.
I think they're going to try to come out here and run the football, establish the run on this series.
Brown in motion. Jabari Davis. Boy, he's hit at the line of scrimmage. I mean, just attacked by number 98, Elliott Harris, and it's a gain of only 2. Harris may have shaken himself up a little bit on that play. You'd seen pat his headgear, and he came off. Keith Turner, who had that big sack back in the third quarter, comes in to replace him. Here are the defensive stats for Arkansas. 7 tackles for Miller. He's the leader. 6 of those are solo. Hamlin with 6. Tennessee led by Peace with 8, and Whiteside with 8. The linebackers having a field day tonight, as they usually do. Witten, the big tight end, in motion. They roll the pocket that way. Clausen's pass is complete. That's Brown. Pushed out of bounds at the 42. Tony gains 7 yards on the play.
Casey Clausen now. Philip Fulmer, Randy Sanders trying to move the pocket around a little bit. Tony Bua still pressuring Clausen as he throws the football.
You know, Mike, you have to like Jason Witten, the big junior tight end, 6'5", 265. He caught that long pass over the middle in the first half and ran and picked up yardage. He also was an outstanding blocker. We were watching him at practice the other day, and the coach, he said, what a wonderful kid to coach. He is just totally copacetic about everything you want to do. Here he blocks and knocks his man out, and here goes Davis. Are they going to play Rocky time? 10, 5, strike up the man. Touchdown, Tennessee. Jabari Davis
got it blocked from Jason Witten. Oh, it opened up the whole thing.
Just talking about the big talented tight end, and he doesn't mind doing the dirty work or catching the football, and he did have the key block on that play. Newman with the extra point attempt. Gets a good one, knocks it downtown, and the Tennessee Volunteers all of a sudden, let's take a look at this block, Mike. Watch number 1, Witten. That was Batman, and he was yanking on his cape there and pushed him toward the sideline. Let's take a timeout. Tennessee on top. We'll be right back. Well, like the sign says, take a ride on the J-Bus. Of course, Jabari is who they are referring to. 58 yards in the touchdown run, and he's put the Volunteers up by 14 points.
And Batman is arguing that his cape was being pulled.
It may have been ripped off the shoulder a little bit. I don't disagree with him. Very high kick, and it is returnable from the goal line. This is Birmingham. He's got an opening and gets tripped up as he crosses the 20. Dearius Howard, we talked about him. He is the number 3 tailback. Checks into the lineup. They fake it to him, and now Jones is going to run it. Jones at the 45. That's all he could get. They push him out of bounds after a couple of more.
Cedric Cobbs, since he's been missing in action, it's been a big loss for the Arkansas offense because he was really running hard when he was in the football game and healthy. And they had a 4.5 yard, and he was not in the ball game, and they took a quarterback sneak. Didn't make it key play of the game.
Dearius Howard takes the ball out to midfield. That's enough for the first down. Robert Peace with still another tackle, and I think that puts Peace very close to double figures on the night. The last numbers we had on him, I know he had 8.
Now here's what they missed since the injury. 11 carries, 30 yards, and Cobbs has 16 carries, 84 yards in the ball game. But without him, you become one-dimensional.
Talley on the sideline right now. The first down puts the ball just over midfield. Tennessee shows blitz. Here they come. They pick it up, and the throw back to the near side. In and out. That's 2 times that George Wilson has had the ball hit him right between the 8 and the 8. It's second down and 10. I think Missouri's going to be heard from. I think Gary will do a good job up there, don't you, Mike?
Yeah, Gary Pinkel's a solid football coach.
Pass near sideline. He caught it in bounds. Tom Crowder, the junior out of Camden, Arkansas, that's 20 yards in the play. You talk about a juggling act. He's looking at his feet and also the ball. Watch this.
Ron, he makes a remarkable catch and able to keep his feet in bounds.
Yeah. Adjusts
to the football, keeps his feet in bounds for the big completion. They're going to have to throw the ball in here because they cannot run it in here.
Hey, with his left foot really close to stepping on that sideline before he got him in bounds. Yeah. Crowder only second catch of the year as Jones brings it out on the boot this side to the 23. Jabari Greer making the tackle.
Just thinking about Tennessee's next week ball game, and if they hold on and win here, they're going to play a Georgia team that's explosive. They're not going to be able to play like this in that ball game next week. You're going to have to put points on the board to beat Georgia. And Arkansas is struggling offensively.
Running play. This is close to the first down at around the 19-yard line. Franklin making the tackle on Darius Howard. Darius, a redshirt freshman out of West Memphis, Arkansas. He's going to have to take time out to retie his shoe.
Got to give John Chavis credit. All the injuries he's had on this defensive team, hanging right in here with Arkansas.
Third down and short. Darius Howard runs into his own man, but then picks up the first down, shoved back. But to give him progress down to the 18. Crowd comes to life. Second down and 10. They go with the running play. Howard breaks it open inside the 15 and down close to the 10. It's going to be third down, and they'll need about 2, maybe 2.5 yards.
Yeah, they got 2 plays to pick this up.
This is the deepest penetration by Arkansas in the ball game tonight.
You see a good job by Arkansas offensive line of opening that hole. Jerry Wright, number 50, leading him through the hole.
Tennessee jumping around on defense. Little confusion there, and Arkansas is ready to run the play. Jones drills the pass, has it in and out of the hands of Mark Pierce in the end zone.
Their passing game is really just, it's not together.
Boy, he's got to catch that, Mike. I'm sorry.
Catch that pass.
Fullback or not.
Yeah, they got to go for a touchdown here. They have no choice.
Fourth down, should have scored on third down here. So now it's fourth down, and Brandon Holmes comes into the backfield.
Yeah, Matt Jones can pick this up on a quarterback draw.
Ninth play of the drive, and so far it's the play of the ball game. All 107,000 on their feet. Jabari Howard at the 5, and he will score. So finally they gave the score. He had broken the plane. Didn't matter if he fumbled after he hit the ground. It would be a touchback if he fumbled on the field of play, and then it goes out of the back of the end zone.
They run a draw play to Howard. Trying to get to that touchdown. His knee may have been down on the 1-yard line. But it doesn't matter because 6 is on the scoreboard.
Extra point attempt. Ball is down and the kick is up and good. So with 6 minutes and 56 seconds left, Arkansas right back in this ball game. Tennessee's lead is cut to 7 as you look at Howard one more time, taking it for what was called a touchdown. We'll be right back. So here's the touchdown play right here. Michael, you call it, and give us your assessment.
I think his knee is down. Darius Howard. I think his knee is down far away from the touchdown marker, but it doesn't matter what we think. It's a touchdown.
You get a mouse in your pocket? I just. No, I agree with you. I think his knee was down at the 2-yard line, but the ground will not cause a fumble. And there was no chance for anybody to recover that, because that's why I said by rule they have to fumble in the field of play. And it has to be a fumble. If it goes out of the back of the end zone, then that is a touchback.
It's Dan Brooks, the defensive line coach, talking to the secondary.
Carlton's kickoff. And it's going to bound and go out of the back of the end zone. Look at him at a field level. Mike, standing around those other people. I agree with the basketball program. I think he's closer to 6'7" than he is closer to 6'5".
Might be 6'9" by the end of the night.
Witten, the tight end, in motion. And they're going to throw on first down. And they go on top. Kelly Washington got it at the 47.
Well, Randy Sanders with a great play call. Arkansas just scores, takes some momentum away. You come in with two tight ends. Kelly Washington with a good move against Lawrence Richardson, picks up big yardage.
And you know for the world that Randy figured that Arkansas was going to have single coverage because they were playing for run on first down.
They're going to play run all the way. A very good call by Randy Sanders.
Two tight ends in the lineup. Arkansas showing blitz. They come off the corner. They go with the running play, and Davis trying to run over one of those defensive backs who was trying to blitz. Second down for the Volunteers. They just want that clock to run. We're right at about 5:40 to play in this contest. They're up by a touchdown. Davis on the sweep. Nice open field tackle. That is Jimmy Beasley.
You talk about a nice tackle. Now that he had to fight through a lot of blockers to make that play.
Five tackles for him.
That's where you go down. They block down, and all of a sudden Jimmy Beasley just comes through a block and makes the tackle on Davis.
What was Fleming doing? He ran right by him instead of blocking him, tried to block the next guy.
Well, he thinks he's a tailback every now and then. He's a former high school tailback, and tailbacks don't block.
Derek Tinsley into the lineup, and don't be surprised if they don't try to throw to him.
Yeah, he's a very good pass receiver.
Third down, they set the screen to the 35-yard line, and this is Gerald Riggs. Ball is loose. It would appear that Tennessee has recovered it, and that's what the officials say. This is the much talked about ballyhoo Gerald Riggs, the freshman out of Chattanooga, running back, 5'11", 227. And they talk about Davis as a power runner. As you look at Gerald's father, Tinsley is the good catcher and ball carrier. But the Riggs has got the whole package. He's got power. He also can be a breakaway threat.
His dad played for the Falcons, and Gerald waiting to get a chance. These Tennessee coaches say he knows everything in the run game. It's the passing game that gives him problems right now. Protections.
Fifth punt of the night by Colquitt. They got the return on very high. This is a really good coverage kick. Fair catch called for and made at the 8-yard line by Birmingham. 3:45 left in our ball game. Arkansas trying to drive 92 yards to tie this thing and send it to overtime. Fakes it to Howard. Rolls the pocket. Now going to go long. He got a man wide open. Somebody left Smith all alone. 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Razorbacks, 92 yards. I don't know who, but obviously a blown coverage.
I think it was Julian Battle that was on the receiver, Richard Smith. And Matt Jones really bought time to make that play happen. And that's exactly what John Chavis told us the other day. He said we got to have patience on Matt Jones. They ran out of patience on that play.
Donahue with the important extra point, knocks it home, and we are tied with 3.5 minutes left in the ball game. Let's take another look.
Okay, here Matt Jones is going to come out. Richard Smith. I believe it's Julian Battle just got beat, just stopped on the play, number 14. And that allowed Richard Smith to get open.
92 yards. And look at Jones. Matt Jones pointing toward the sky. He can't believe it. He said, I wanted a big play, but 92 yards. That's a little more than what we thought we could muster. Well, Doc, let's go down to the sideline. What have you got for us?
Well, Ron, they have a backup left cornerback in. Willie Miles had injured and pulled a groin, so he's out for the rest of the evening. They had gone to a backup cornerback. Both of the injured right cornerback, Jabari Greer, back in the game with an injured shoulder, and Rashad Baker back in. But 3 starters in the Tennessee secondary banged up. 1 gone for the night, Willie Myers. And, of course, Miles, that could have had an impact on that play. They threw to the left side where the backup was.
I know, Jerry, you didn't have the aid of a replay as we did up here. The biggest thing on it, the battle just stopped. He got mesmerized by the play, and the receiver did the smart thing. He just continued to run, and Smith took it. 92 yards for the touchdown. Clausen on the boot, just throws this one away. Nice job. Elliott Harris with the pressure. Elliott Harris, a sophomore out of Mariana, Arkansas.
Yeah, the pressured Casey Clausen could never get turned around to throw that football. Now you talk about the corners, Lawrence Richardson and Ahmad Carroll. The Batman's going to be on Kelly Washington right here.
See if Kelly is equal to the task as far as picking up a home run. He used to be a pro baseball player. Looking, ball is caught at the 34-yard line. Caught by Leonard Scott, the senior out of Zachary, good for 14 yards.
Kent Hamlin hit him, Ron. He's hurt. Leonard Scott's going to get hit by Ken Hamlin on this play. He takes his legs right out from under him. I believe he hurt his ankle on this play.
Ankle or knee, you're right, Mike. That leg gets caught underneath him when he makes the tackle. The cleat dug in, and they came out quickly and got him. That's his first catch of the night, and now he is hurt. Clausen runs up into the pocket and got what he could, which is about 4 yards. Clock continues to run. 2:46, now 2:45.
And Tennessee only has 1 timeout left. Figure Jason Witten here in this series. If they're going to double Kelly Washington, then Witten should be alive.
Mike, Keith Turner and Gavin Walls have come in as pass rushers. The last time we talked about that, it was Turner who came up with a very big sack of the quarterback. Blitz coming in the middle. Clausen steps up into the pocket, gonna run. Almost got away with enough for the first down, and from where they've spotted him, he's a yard short. Huckabee makes the tackle.
Well, again, good pressure. They kept Jason Witten, the tight end. You're going to see him slide right over here to help block in this pass rush for Tennessee. Casey Clausen showing good wheels here to get close to the first down.
Clock continues to run. 150, now 149 and 148. Tennessee very methodically comes to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 1. Brown in motion. Davis puts ahead now. Boy, that's close.
I don't think he got it.
I'll tell you what, the linesman, where he was going to mark him, came a little higher and then backed off a little bit.
He didn't get it, Ron.
Nope, he didn't. It's Caleb Miller is the man who spearheaded the attack. Well, you're in 4-down territory anyway.
I think you punt the football here.
Do you really?
Yeah, I think you play now for the it depends how close it is, but if you don't make it here, you lose the football game. And the last couple times they've had 3rd and short yardage, they have not been close to getting any kind of movement.
No, you're right. This is playing the percentages all the way.
And you haven't been moved by Arkansas's offense. I mean, Arkansas hit a couple big plays on you, so you feel like your defense got control of Arkansas's offense.
What is Arkansas's got punch safe, don't they?
Yeah, the one thing Arkansas has got to guard against is being offside here.
Arkansas does not believe they're going to punt. That's Bua jumping around in the middle. They're coming after Colquitt. He went down as the ball is caught by Decory Birmingham, but it was a bit of an acting job. He's looking around for the official, and the official didn't even look at him. Casey Clausen.
You got to be real careful here if you're Arkansas right here. But you don't turn the ball over.
61 seconds showing on the clock. Darius Howard, the redshirt freshman, lines up at tailback. And they give it to him. Breaks it big. Has 5. Has 10. And he's run it out to the 35 and now the 40-yard line. That'll stop the clock momentarily, but it's good for a gain of 19 yards.
Now your whole offense is on because you got the ball out into a pretty good area right now here where you can take some chances. You got one timeout Arkansas has left. Changes the whole game plan now.
Safety cheating up. Snap goes over his head. Jones picks it up. Now just going to try to get out of it what he can, and he goes out of bounds back at the 30-yard line. Now you just sit on it and run the clock out, don't you?
Now that changes it again when you have the snap over the head. Jerry Wright, the right guard, trying to help Don Doty as Matt Jones makes a pretty good recovery of the football and picks up some yardage. I'd give the ball back to Howard. See if Howard can hit a home run here.
40 seconds left in regulation. We're tied at 17. Howard hit behind the line of scrimmage and is going to be tackled after a 1-yard gain. Now the clock runs at 31 and 30.
He played overtime. Now Howard hit a ground ball to second baseman, but he didn't have any help in his offensive line, so it's overtime now.
Sports Center coming up immediately following our ball game, and it appears as though that's going to be some time from now.
Here's the one thing, I will say this before we get into the overtime. I don't like the way we do overtime because you take the kicking teams out of it. Kickoff team, punt team, all those teams, you take them out of. They got you here, and then all of a sudden you send them to the bus.
Well, the clock shows 0 and regulation is over. And we'll take a timeout and come back for overtime with Tennessee tied with Arkansas 17 apiece. Overtime records, Razorbacks are perfect. They are 3-0. Tennessee is 1-1. As you look at Kelly Washington on the far sideline.
That tells me one thing. On first down, it's going to be a run. Let's see if that's true.
Montrell Jones checked in late. Set in the lineup from the 25. First play from overtime. Boy, that thing blew up from the beginning. The ball, was it fumbled or was he just tackled as a flag goes down?
Illegal formation on the offense. Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. That's declined. It'll be second down.
The situation, if you turn it over, it's just like on the playground. You give up your chance with the ball, and then the other team, it's all but certain that they get a win because they move it down and kick a field goal as soon as they can.
Now Ron Kelly Washington is back in the football game, split all the way to the left against Batman. And up here.
But they go with the running play. Nope, going to throw it out in the flat. Has it complete at the 20. Almost for the first down as he takes it to the 16-yard line. Troy Fleming. Ahmad Carroll making the tackle.
Yeah, nice play call again because they're doubling up Kelly Washington. They leak out Troy Fleming out of the backfield. He's wide open. Good adjustment here by Arkansas to make that tackle. The Batman did it.
That was a very, very good fake by Jabari Davis. It looked as though the big fella had the ball up and through the line. Right now it's a third down, and let's call it about 1.5 yards for the first.
And Arkansas has been tough on short yardage.
Throws the pass and throws it away. And here comes the flag. I think they're going to wave the flag off.
And it's non-catchable football. And that's what they're calling. Ken Hamlin comes up, number 6, He's going to put a lick on Jason Witten there, and they're going to say that ball was not catchable. So now you force Tennessee into the field goal attempt.
You know, Mike, I knew it wasn't catchable, but I thought they got him
for a personal foul.
That's right, with that high elbow. That elbow was up as high as his head when he threw it into Witten's headgear. So now Tennessee has to go for the field goal. Well, they don't have to, but they are going to. Only logical thing to do with Philip Newman. It's going to be a 33-yard attempt from just about at the left hash mark. Sports Center coming up immediately following overtime. We're in the first overtime. Got a good pass, plenty of distance and plenty of accuracy. Tennessee goes on top in this first overtime, 20-17. Arkansas needs to put it in the end zone to win, or we will go to a second overtime if they come up with a field goal.
And Ron, that tells you about this call right here, because now here we're watching the field goal, but you talk about the play that Philip Fulmer and Randy Sanders called on 3rd and 1. That's the respect they have for Arkansas's defense to run the play fake up inside and try to get the home run on them with the play action pass.
Boy, this crowd is really into it now, trying to interrupt Matt Jones and company. They go with the running play, and Darius Howard goes for a couple. That's it. Peace along with Eddie Moore combining in the stop.
Here's where you get the band in action right here. Now they become the most valuable player because they're going to sound everything. The drummers stay alive here.
Second down. Matt Jones back to throw. Looking over the middle. Here comes the pressure. He's going to run it. Behind his blocker, 15 at the 10, and he's out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Carrying the ball very precariously out in his left hand like a loaf of bread. Picks up 15 yards, and the hand finally makes the tackle.
Well, you can't play basketball for the Arkansas Razorbacks and not be a pretty good athlete. And he shows you his ability to get away from tacklers. He's got a high stride, but picks up a lot of real estate against the Tennessee defense.
I'm not so sure I wouldn't put him in a shotgun and run quarterback draw right now.
Keep it going.
First and goal, Arkansas. Howard maybe a yard at right guard. Eddie Moore making the stop.
I think I try to get him outside with a run pass type option, a waggle, boot, something, sprint out, something where you get him on the corner where he can throw the football if it's open and run it if it's not.
This man right here, Houston Nutt, knows that it's not going to get any easier next week. They're on the road again. They have to go to the Plains and face the Cadillac and the Auburn Tigers. Second down, end goal. Play action, puts it on his hip, running, and is going to be pushed out of bounds back at the 15-yard line. That is Veal, Dimitri Veal, and what a job of just corralling him and not letting him go anywhere.
I think it goes back to last week's ball game. Matt Jones had that bad thing happen to him where he threw the ball just like this play, and it was intercepted by Alabama's linebacker, Pope. So he didn't throw it away this time. He should have thrown the ball away in the tuba section.
From the shotgun, quarterback draw. And he's going to be stopped after a gain of 2, and it is Franklin, Ubriah Franklin, a senior out of Johnson City by way of Itawamba Junior College.
Took a Franklin to make a play.
So now the field goal attempt, and this is going to be placed down. What are we going to say, Big E? About 30 yards. Going to be placed down at the 20. We'll say actually it's a 29-yard attempt to tie and send us to a second overtime. Good pass, plenty of distance. Does he have accuracy? Yes. Second overtime about to come. It ties it at 20. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more from Knoxville.
They got to come down to the other end of the field now, where Arkansas has got a small contingent.
Away from the horn section.
Yeah, you got to get away from the drums and the tubas and everything else.
Pitches the ball on the sweep. This is to Corey Birmingham, and he's going to be bumped out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Jabari Greer finally got him. Here's a big play guy that you got to get the ball in his hands.
Birmingham is a speedster. Matter of fact, John Chavis, the defensive coordinator, was worried about him playing some wide receiver in this ball game because he's got home run speed.
Well, you could tell right there, pursuit angles were not good on that ball carry until they corralled him with about 3 people. Gain of 11 yards by Birmingham. This is Howard. He's going to have a tough yard, and that's about it. That's Rashad Moore, the senior out of Huntsville, Alabama, making the stop.
Arkansas fans can really feel good about Darius Howard because he's come on with Cedric Cobbs hurt and Talley not able to play. Darius Howard really has answered the bell at tailback.
I know they like this youngster. He has really come on. If you joined us late, Cedric Cobbs injured a foot and has been on the sideline in the second half. The second overtime. We're tied at 20. Arkansas on offense. Quarterback fake, and he hit him at the line of scrimmage and knocked him down. That's Whiteside. Keon Whiteside would not be fooled, and Matt Jones goes down. So it's going to be third down.
It's got to be a passing situation now for Arkansas or a quarterback draw. Tavarius Jackson in the ball game. Now they may move Matt Jones to wide receiver.
They do. Matt Jones going wide to the left side. Now, what do you think if he's working against a kid that is 5'9"? That's right. And that's what they do, and he fell down. And the pass is overthrown. That's exactly what they were looking for. And Jackson did the smart thing. Saw that Jones had fallen, and he just threw it away.
Matt Jones got knocked down by Julian Battle. And that's one thing when you're a quarterback and you don't work as a wide receiver, all of a sudden you get put in a big key play. You're not used to running routes, and Julian Battle knocked him on his rear end.
29-yard attempt. Ball is down, and the kick is right down the middle. So that puts Arkansas on top 23-20, and the Tennessee Volunteers have to answer with a field goal in the second overtime or a touchdown.
I like Tennessee's chances right now because taking over this football with the knowing they got to score a touchdown to win this game right here. You got a veteran quarterback, you got a veteran wide receiver, you got a veteran tight end. You got young backs, I know that, but you got veterans out there in key roles.
You know what's interesting?
This is the opportunity Tennessee's been waiting for in this football game right here.
This is Arkansas's first lead of the night, and it comes in overtime. From the 25. Brown in motion. Clausen looking for some place to run, and he just throws it away. And he was outside the tackle box, so it's not grounding.
You talk about a lot of talking going on, but Ahmad Carroll, we've been calling his name all game. The Batman right here, number 8.
Batman.
The Batman was on Kelly Washington right here. Kelly Washington is who Casey Clausen wants to go to, but the Batman says no, not here.
So Tennessee now with the second down from the 25. Second overtime. Sports Center coming up immediately following our ball game. Davis puts a head down and pulls his way inside the 20 down to around the 18. Bua and Beasley combining to the stop, and Jabari Davis is shaken up. Now he's back up, going to head back to the huddle.
This is one of the hardest hitting football games I've seen now. There've been a lot of mistakes in this game. Been a great game, but a very hard hitting football game. Both defenses.
Kelly Washington goes back in the ball game. 27, Troy Fleming replaces Jabari Davis. It's third down. And it's a quarterback draw, and Clausen is just annihilated at the 15-yard line. Now, was he trying to run for field position, or were they just trying to?
No, I think, Ron, that the rush got to him. I don't think that was a quarterback draw. Now, if it was, it didn't work, and it wasn't going to work. But
Miller and Huckabee just destroyed the play. And now this means that Philip Newman, a junior out of Marietta, Georgia, who transferred here to Tennessee by way of Georgia Tech, comes in to kick. Alex Walls, the normal kicker, injured a groin. He's on the sideline. This is going to be a 31-yard attempt. He must make it to keep them alive. A miss, and it's an Arkansas victory. Good pass. Kick. Knuckleball. He got it. Was it blocked or just a knuckle?
Couldn't tell.
Point Wilhelm would have been proud, but it went through, and we go to a third overtime. Now what changes? No extra point. If you score, you got to go for 2.
I think it was blocked a little bit.
That thing came out of spiral. I'm not so sure that Huckabee didn't get a hand
I agree.
up. Jeb Huckabee. So we'll take a break. Third overtime on the way. I'm sure that Philip Newman is thinking,
block him.
Man, I've never had one any uglier than that. And to go with the running play this time. Ball is loose. Recovered by Gallion. Now, the situation is, and we talked about, if the game is tied and you're the first team on offense, if you turn it over, all the other team has to do is get where they're comfortable for a field goal, and they can kick it away, and that's ball game. That's camp rope.
Tried to run a draw. Tinsley, the third team tailback, just gets the ball knocked out. Now you're going to get some Darius Howard right here. He's going to run this football, Ron, till you get in the field goal position.
Jason Witten on the sideline with a very strained look on his face. Here's Howard. They sweep it to the right side. He gets one block, gets what he can, steps out of bounds at the 20. That's a gain of about 5. Eddie Moore is the man who forced him out.
Nobody else would touch the ball for me. Darius Howard would take it 2 more times and kick the field goal.
Now to Hugh warming on the sideline, the junior out of El Dorado. A look at the Tennessee bench and a look of extreme concern, because the Razorbacks right now are 20 yards away, tied in the third overtime. In this running play, Howard's not going to go anywhere. They'll stop him at the 20. Robert Peace was the first man to get there. Should he attempt it right now, it'd be a 37-yard attempt.
Now they need to run him to the left and get in the middle of the field to get your best opportunity.
Mike, let me ask you this. Do you go ahead and kick on third down in case you have a bad snap or something?
Until he ran the ball over this hash, I would have, but I think I'd run right to the left, get the ball in the middle of the field, kick the field goal.
Okay, it's third down, and they need 5. Howard gets it hit at the line of scrimmage and is wrapped up by Franklin. So this means that the field goal attempt is going to be from in the vicinity of 38 yards, which would be his longest in his career. 2001 was 45 yards against Ole Miss. His longest this year, I believe, is 33. 38-yard attempt by Arkansas to win in the third overtime. Good pass, and he yanked it. Wide left, no good. We're going to a fourth overtime. And look at that little prayer scene right there. Tinsley saying, Lord, thank you. I didn't want to be the GOAT and go to the locker room and face my teammates.
No, he's got new life.
Let's take a break. Fourth overtime on the way. Still tied at 23. Jones tries to run it. Breaks by one tackle. Breaks by another. Still on his feet at the 20 and pushed out of bounds at the 18. Omari Hand finally forced him out of bounds. And Omari still with his hands, his palms up, saying to the official, I didn't hit him out of bounds.
Came Matt Jones came into this game averaging almost 7.6 yards per rush, and he's added to that tonight. He has been the offense for the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Sports Center following our game immediately. Fourth overtime here in Knoxville. Tied at 23. Darius Howard tackled by Omari Hand.
See, what happens in this football game, your defense wears out a little bit, because these are plays that they would have stopped during the ball game, but all of a sudden now Darius Howard is he's the player of the game as far as I'm concerned for Arkansas, because he's added what Cedric Cobbs, when he went out of the game, this young guy, redshirt freshman guy, just came in and said, hey, give me the football.
Redshirt freshman out of West Memphis, Arkansas. They moved the chains. It's a first down at the 13. Tennessee comes with the blitz, hit at the line of scrimmage. Omari Hand, he's recorded the last 3 tackles here in overtime for the Volunteers.
They expect your seniors to rise up in difficult situations. Omari Hand is a senior football player on this football team. He just takes on the block and makes the play on Howard. Tennessee with new life. You're talking about that fumble now. It's new life after that missed field goal.
They got to do something right now, though, with a second down at about 9.5. Razorbacks from the shotgun. Jones looking at the 6-yard line, and he caught it. That's Wilson. George Wilson has dropped some easy passes tonight, but that was a difficult catch right there.
Yeah, he made it between the 8s, too. George Wilson, the junior wide receiver, makes a low ball catch against Julian Battle.
And it's a good throw by Jones. Only place you could throw it.
The only place it could have been a completion. Right.
Julian Battle is the man who made the tackle. Jones, here comes pressure. Now going to score. He's got a big opening in the middle at the 5. He will cut it up, and Jones will score. Now remember, after the second overtime, they got to go for 2 points rather than 1 on the extra points.
Ron, that was too easy for Matt Jones. You shouldn't be able to do that against a very good defense, but I'm telling you, that defense is wore out. They're tired of chasing Matt Jones, and they just do not have any legs up under themselves on defense.
So here comes Arkansas as they break the huddle. The ball placed down at the 3.
Keep the ball in number 9's hands.
Well, this surprises me. He's going to go under center. Now with an audible, and he says something to Pierce, his fullback. He resets him from the left over to the right. Here comes the blitz. As they roll the pocket, he wants his fullback. He's not open, and he just throws it away. Caught by a lady in section 117. Whiteside with the pressure.
Matt Jones rolling out to the left. He reverses his field. Now you look at the defensive guys. How heavy-legged they are right now. Bad angles. Just a tired defensive football team allows Matt Jones to get in the end zone. Poor angles. That's what happens when you get tired.
So now it's Tennessee's turn. Tennessee must score a touchdown to send us to a 5th overtime. Fleming is the running back. They want to throw on first down. Got a man wide open in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee, Tony Brown. Now, the Volunteers have tied it in overtime number 4. If they hit on a 2-point conversion, everybody goes home, and the Vols win.
Ron, they made it look like they were faking a screen. They were throwing the quick screen, and all of a sudden, Tony Brown's wide open because everybody bid on the screen.
Including Batman, and there was no Robin close by. And right now, The Volunteers with the ball on the 3-yard line for the extra point attempt. If they make the 2-point conversion, they are winners. Otherwise, we go to overtime number 5. Clausen waits for the snap. Arkansas with a blitz off the corner. Throws the ball. It is knocked down in the end zone. That is a fine defensive play by Lawrence Richardson. Witten is the man they wanted, the big tight end. So how about overtime number 5?
Casey Clausen tried to throw the ball inside, but Richardson was up for the task.
Gets a hand out there. Whoa, let's take a timeout. A little holding there.
They got Washington where they want him over here.
Well, they throw the screen. Washington spins into the middle of the field, still spinning. Looks for a block, gets one from Clausen, and he'll dive to the 18. Caleb Miller finally makes the stop for the Razorbacks.
Great effort, Ron, by Kelly Washington. Everything was shut off. They tried to throw him the screen. They had what they wanted out there. He spins around, spins again. Picks up very valuable yardage, 7 yards.
You know, Clausen really shows you how big a heart he has. This is Clausen sliding down. He'll do most anything just to help his teammate. As Washington is down, he's shaking a bit. Witten, the tight end, in motion, and they give it to Davis. They run to that side. Tries to break out of a tackle. He's going to fight to the 15. Hamlin on the stop, and he's very close to the first down.
Third down, Ron. Now, the last time they had a short yardage play, they tried to go for everything. It was play fake, but they're going to run this football. It's almost like a quarterback sneak as you look at Randy Sanders making the signals. Casey Clausen has quarterback sneak for a 4th and 1.
Third down and short. As Mike said, they need less than a yard. Davis powers his way, has the first down. Arkansas trying to rip the ball free, comes out. Volunteers recover it, but they're going to say that the play was dead. Tackle made by Bua. Overtime number 5. The Tennessee Volunteers trying to take it in for a touchdown to go on top 35.
Jabari Davis gets hit by Ken Hamlin, gets straightened up, but picks up the first down.
Well, a lot of people have stayed. Don't know if she wanted to or not, but she's having fun. She can always say, hey, I was here the night. Davis breaks it through at the 5, spins off, touchdown Tennessee. Yard run, and now here comes that 2-point conversion. Sean Young, number 66, with a very good block, and boy, what an outstanding second effort by Jabari Davis.
Well, we talked about the tailbacks, and Jabari Davis has got a second win because he really was roaring in that line of scrimmage. Gets good blocking from Munoz up in the offensive line. Breaks the tackle of Tony Boa.
Now, it's going to be interesting. We need to check officially. Does he get the touchdown or does Fleming? Because it looked as though he was juggling it. We'll check on that in a moment.
I think it's Jabari Davis.
Quarterback draw. Nothing. Just seized by Caleb Miller. So Tennessee now will give the ball to Arkansas, and what the Razorbacks have got to do is score a touchdown and come up with a 2-point conversion. We head to overtime number 6. Razorbacks cannot turn it over. They got to score a touchdown. Overtime number 5, and it's their turn. Howard at the 20. Almost broke that thing. Took it close to the 17. Whiteside defensively.
I think he's benefited in this overtime because he didn't have to play till the third quarter.
Fresh legs.
Yeah, he's got fresher legs than everybody else out there has, because Cobbs took it most of the first half and into the third quarter.
Second down and 15. Now from the 30. Blitz off the corner. Jones looks over the middle, looks deep. He has a man wide open if he sees him, and the ball is tipped and knocked out of bounds as a flag is down. And I mean, Richard Smith was all the way across the field, but he was 10 yards behind the Tennessee defender.
They're going to pick up a pass interference. And you're right. Richard Smith was wide open, but Matt Jones couldn't get turned around enough to throw him the football because he was all the way.
That's interference against the defense. 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. First down.
And he was already the way over in the left side of the end zone, so he couldn't get turned around to throw it to him.
So it's first down. Crowd coming back on their feet. Sports Center coming up immediately following our game. This is the 5th overtime. Tennessee has already scored. They missed the two-point conversion. Darius Howard runs back into the boundary, hurdles a man at the 10, still driving. He is at the 5, and he may have another first down.
I think they have to run to the right side because Lacey's out. Now, all of a sudden, Lacey's coming back into the ball game. Now you can go the other side. But because he's been out, they've been able to go to the right side behind Sean Andrews and pick up good yardage. Now Lacey's back on the field. Second longest.
Arkansas in the record books with the longest and now the second longest. We're in the 5th overtime. Jones, I don't know if it's an audible or not. He's going to go under center. He'll hand it to Howard. They go to the right side at the 2, at the 1. Did he get in? No. No signal from the official. He has him at the 1-foot line as Franklin is down at the bottom of the stack. And it's going to be, what, a third down?
Yeah. I am really impressed with Darius Howard. I know our guys Reese Davis and Trev and Mark May give away game balls. They need to give a game ball away to Darius Howard. This is a quarterback sneak right here.
He's now got 76 yards and 19 carries and a touchdown. Jones going to hand it to Howard. Goes to the right side. Did he score? Still no signal. Touchdown. Now they give it to him.
Now you take your timeout, Ron, and work on the two-point play. Boy, Darius Howard. The offensive line behind Sean Andrews and Mark Bakerman.
So here come the Razorbacks to the line of scrimmage. Matt Jones with one more word for his redshirt freshman tailback, Howard. Smith in motion. They want to throw it. Looking, throws it, intercepted by Tennessee. Julian Battle. Overtime number 6 on the way.
They have not thrown the ball very effectively. And
so we'll take a timeout. Overtime number 6 on the way. We're tied at 35. Well, we're back, and you see the sign there. And we don't find humor in that, young man. He's talking about 8 overtimes. We're about to hit 6. Let's not. Let's do it in 6. Arkansas goes on offense for the first possession in overtime number 6.
To see if they start right behind Sean Andrews and give the ball to Howard. On the right side.
Audible here as he hollers directly to his offensive lineman. Play clock is at 3, down to 2. Busted play, and he's just going to run it. He's going to be hit and pushed back for a loss. Veal was the defender.
You almost knew that was going to be a run because he never tried to get word out to the wide receivers.
You're exactly right.
He went to the right side, then he went to the left side, then he went to his running back, didn't talk to the wide receiver, so it was a busted play. You knew it was going to be a running play. Tennessee knew it was going to be a running play.
So a loss of 5 and second down and 15. You talk about some weary players. 6th turnover. This is now the second longest in NCAA history. Arkansas played the longest one last year. 2nd and 15. Looking deep, got a man. If he goes to him, and he's there, and overthrew Decory Birmingham. That ball could have been delivered earlier by Jones because Decory Birmingham, just watch what happens. He breaks ahead of everybody. There's no one. They're playing catch up from the get-go.
Ron, you got to like Tennessee's position. If you're John Chavis right now, you know you got a team that doesn't throw the ball really well. And you got them in 3rd and long. All you got to do is stop them on one play.
Blitz off the corner. They throw the swing pass. Howard gets a block and is going to be tackled for a 2-yard loss. Let's check with you, Doc, very quickly.
And guys, this will be David Carlton, the new kicker, the kickoff guy, who will actually come in and try the long field goal. This is outside the range of Brendan O'Donohue, so Carlton will be the kicker.
And Doc, he was very smart. He was not warmed up, and he ran over and kicked it out free into the net. This is going to be an attempt of 47 yards. Good pass. He got it. David Carlton knocks it home from 47. But still, Tennessee now has the luxury, if you can call it that, in his overtime number 6. If they score a touchdown, it's over.
Boy, David Carlton, you talk about big plays again in the season or in the ball game. David Carlton comes through for the Hogs.
Volunteers trail in 6th overtime by 3. Pass over the middle. Witten, it's over. Tennessee wins. Let's go down to the field, and Doc is with Philip Fulmer. Doc.
Well, the 10th-ranked Volunteers of Tennessee, coach, are unbelievable. Unbelievable finish. 6 overtimes. What an effort.
Just a great, great football game. You know, you really hate to see either team lose the game, or I'm darn sure proud of our kids. We have had a struggle from the start with injuries and different things, and they certainly showed their hearts and their guts tonight, and proud of our staff. We've all hung in there and got it done. What a great win.
What great heart by running back Jabari Davis, who fought through a couple injuries to come back and just battled hard tonight.
Well, he fought hard. Our whole football team fought hard. I mean, the defense, the kicking game, there was a lot of things that weren't everything you wanted, but heck, it's a great win. You got to give Arkansas an awful lot of credit. Great win for us.
And Coach, most importantly, you're 4-1, but now the gauntlet begins. You got Georgia and Alabama and Miami back here.
I want to enjoy this one for about another few hours here. This is a great effort by our football team, and
Congratulations. Go celebrate. Okay, Ron.
So let's take a look at the replay of Witten on the touchdown.
Jason Witten's going to work down here on a post route against Richardson, number 1. They stretch the field. They got 4 verticals going down the field. Casey Clausen with a great throw. Jason Witten with a great catch. Great win for Tennessee.
So it's 6 overtimes. Our final score, Tennessee 41, Arkansas 38. Coming up next, Sports Center. For more, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football. For Mike Godfrey, Dr. Jerry Punch, and our entire crew, Ron Franklin saying this has been a presentation of ESPN.